name is Caroline Barry and I run a ceramic studio called Otherworld Ceramics. And at the moment I'm working on a hedgerow sculpture. So as you can see, I've collected a whole load of inspirational plants that are currently withering on my desk. And then I just wanted to show you today how I'm getting some of these leaf structures. So perhaps you can see the lovely vein work here. This is a new discovery for me because up until this I was hand building leaves as part of my sculptural process. But I just wanted to share a whole new technique. It's pretty obvious because what I'm doing is impressing certain leaves into clay. So I work with red earthenware clay. If you work with porcelain, now porcelain's a lot trickier to work with, but if you're hand building with porcelain, you will get kind of more delicate effects and actually light can shine through. But I work with red earthenware. I love the colour it turns once it's bisque fired. And then I really enjoy polychromy or the ancient medieval art of painting over ceramic, or lime wood was really what they painted over, but I love painting, hand painting ceramics. So for now, I'm just going to show you my technique. I'm working with old pieces of clay, so it's a little drier than normal. So it has probably a little bit less plasticity and probably more prone to cracking. So you have to be very careful with cracking, as you know, because as you know, clay has a memory. So what I'm doing is I am squeezing out my red earthenware clay. So it's pretty thin. And I am going to add a leaf. I'll try and do one high up, I think. I have no room high up, so I might have to adjust and do one. I'm going to do one here. So hopefully you'll be able to see me attach it. So pretty thin, flattened with hands, and then I get, as you can see, the leaf that I found was actually made the best impression is the leaf from the blackberry. So you can see that it is it's very beautiful, very veined, and the back of it has lovely pronounced veins, so you'll get a really lovely impression. So at the moment it's coming into autumn and the hedgerows I've blackberries out in the garden, but the hedgerows are full of blackberries, umbellifers, a kind of a clover cross with a thistle, which I have to get the name of. This is the original here. So it's very beautiful, very structural. So I've been working on those here. Lots of ferns, lots of grasses. So it's a very, it's like the hedgerows in Ireland. I live in the Midlands, so they're incredibly beautiful and really thick with variety. So you take your black currant or blackberry, not blackcurrant, blackberry leaf, and you have your flattened piece of red earthenware clay, and now you're going to place the leaf on the clay and really compress. So it's very straightforward. There's nothing complicated here, but there's just some techniques that you might not know about that maybe you would find useful. So now I've really compressed that into the clay, and you can see it's not like that kind of thing doesn't bother me. You know, you may get the edge fully there, you may not. So it's well and truly compressed in. And then I just really try to get the edges, even if I miss pieces, I don't mind, and press into the middle because I want to get this lovely detailed bifurcation of the veins. And then I'm going to very carefully pinch away and compress as I pinch the edge of the leaf. Now the leaf itself has a lovely detailed edge, which sometimes I do a tooled edge with, I use dental tools. You can buy them online, steel dental tools, and you can get them online and they're wonderful to work with, absolutely wonderful to work with, because it can give you that kind of, you can really get in at the sculpture. Okay, so I'm pinching. So I'm left with this effect. Bits of hair for my animals. This effect. And then that's what it looks like at the back. And then I'm going to pinch a little bit more. And then there is this moment where you begin to peel the leaf away from the clay. So be careful. I don't know if the full leaf is coming off. No, there's bits of it sticking. So you work very delicately. And there you have a very beautiful compression of a blackberry leaf. And now to add it to the sculpture, so the first thing that I will do is kind of bulge it. So be very careful not to press the front of it where you've now got these those lovely veins. But I like to get this kind of fluid little waves, so as you feel that there's an organic quality to the structure. And then I have a big container of slip here, and I usually apply my slip with a palette knife. Now, anybody who works with sculpture will know, particularly when you've got very fine pieces, that they'll dry at different rates. So you have to I would kind of spray very fine mist over my sculpture just to keep it in a healthy state, that you don't get this cracking, that it keeps it alive for you while you're working on it. And it also means that the very fine pieces that might dry quicker, you can keep them in a state where they will dry at a slower rate. So where was I going to put this leaf? Oh yeah. I'm going to put it here. So near this umbilifer. So you can see I'm loading on the slip. And then very delicately get your lovely plant, your lovely leaf, and then attach it to your sculpture. And use your dental instruments if you have any. You don't have to use that, but just if you have. Now, where possible, I do attach the top of the leaf to whatever is behind it. So I'll just get a little bit of slip on one of my instruments. Make it as neat as you possibly can. Finishes everything. Very gently compress it. And then the lower part that might be hidden, you might decide, well, I'm going to overlap another leaf there. You can really compress that into your foundation because you don't want breakages. I mean, my work is terribly fine as it is. And I spent an incredible amount of time when I'm transporting it, packaging it up it's very time consuming, but it's like rare glass. You just have to treat it with the delicacy that you wanted to capture in the first place. So there it is. It's attached. I don't know if you can see that. It's attached, and I'll probably put more leaves or flowers. I'll decide. I'm looking at little either grasses or smaller flowers to put in front of that. So I hope you found that inspirational, and I hope it inspires you to go out and do some experiments yourself with your own native wildflowers. Thank you.